is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Take two. I know you guys were wondering what happened. I think there was a glitch on the internet connection on the radio station signal. So we sincerely apologize. But nonetheless, I hope you are having a wonderful lunch with friends, family, loved ones, and significant others. So I'm basically repeating things that I already said earlier. But nonetheless, happy viewing to everybody. So it's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday here in the Philippines, but I know you're having a wonderful time also if you're watching us in the Pacific. So happy viewing to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Hello world, as they have said. So, and happy viewing to our to our viewers as well. Especially those we were able not to, we were cut off the air. It's the beauty and the challenges of live shows. But nonetheless, hello and welcome back. Hello also to our viewers, our team replay, our team share. But before anything else, we are live on different podcasts, namely Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. We're also live on our newest Amazon Music. Also, we are live on PHLB Radio Facebook page as well as PHLB Radio YouTube channel. By now, hopefully, especially those supporters of us from day one, you are already subscribed to PHLB Radio YouTube channel. And of course, if you're using Alexa, just say just say, Alexa, play PHLB Radio. And if you're using Amazon Fire TV, just look for PHLB Radio channel. And you could always go to our website, which is www.phlbradio.com. Ang dami nagte-text ngayon looking for what happened to us. Nothing naman po significant other than we were off the air for a while. Like what I said, we are promoting our two good friends event happening February 1st at 5:30 p.m. and that's Playlist of the Heart. And that stars, of course, Nonoy Suniga and the music festival queen, si Avi Violan. So if you are wondering how to get tickets or even sponsorship, just call these numbers, area code 213-600-3011, or you could always call 0951 or area code 951-208-6761 or 213-600-0581. Sorry po, sincerely we apologize for those people watching us live and they got cut off. It was not intentional whatsoever. Yan. So it's the Playlist of the Heart. It's a pre-Valentine's show starting February 1st. It's a one night only and it starts at 5:30 and it's going to be held at the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. Like what I've said, I've seen my friends' solo concerts, ni Nonoy Suniga, as well ni Ivy Bilan, but what better way to have a concert together? They're not guesting each other, but they are doing this concert back to back. So if I were you, it's one concert not to miss. Yeah. Okay, like what I said earlier, I'm currently in Manila with doing some business for my parents. But I was privileged to be able to go, and I was it was such a blessing. It's a promise fulfilled. After so many years, even pre-pandemic, I was not able to attend or even a participant in Ati-Atihan, which is the Queen Mother or Queen Festival of all festivals here in the Philippines, and it was such a fantastic experience. It's and I'll tell you more about it, the history of Ati-Atihan and the differences between Ati-Atihan, Danagyang, as well as Sinulog. And of course, there's a lot of things that you'll learn from this show of ours. And we prepared a very good video even though you're not there, especially Filipinos abroad, who for some reason or another are afraid to travel to Manila or to the Philippines, at least through our show. We are able to bring you the beauty, the pageantry of Ati-Atihan 2026. Ito, ito yung nakahabol. Si Ernie is watching, Ernie Damao is watching us from the Philippines. Si Roy Nick Hernandez, hi Odette. Odessa, I have not seen you for a while, especially Nick or Monica. So hello and happy viewing sa inyo. Let's see kung makahabol sila. So what happened is every third week of January, they're celebrating the feast day of Santo Niño. And of course, it's the infant Jesus, the child Jesus. And it happens every third week of January yearly. So, and that's where they have the Ati-Atihan Festival across the globe. But of course, I was lucky enough since I'm in Manila and I was housed by a very good friend as well as family of the Lao Mayor family of Calibo, Aklan. So my warmest greeting to everybody and all my inaanaks. It's just amazing that seeing them again after so many years. They're not children anymore. They're all grown up, and it's just such an amazing thing to see. It's like a reunion of some sort, but everybody has grown up, and they're really catching up to us, which is so sweet. And so happy viewing to the Laos and to the Mayors, and of course to everybody there that I met. So maraming salamat for the amazing, phenomenal accommodation that you would give a person like me year to year, time and time again. So, bottom of my heart, maraming salamat po. So, ayan, Luz, hello, finally. Luz, how are you? Si Daisy Abadilla, si Luz Marasingan is watching us from GMA Cavite. And I still owe you a visit, Luz. It's going to happen. I just have to finish all the legalities. But definitely, it's going to happen hopefully next week. Si Daisy Abadia is watching us from, I believe it's still Koreatown, unless Daisy is connected with Southwest Airlines, the airline of choice in the U.S. And she's based in Koreatown, but she's one of the jet setter friends of mine who flies all over the place in support of another good friend of mine, none other than si Mark Mabasa. Si Hilda is watching us as well from the Philippines. Si Luz sabi niya, hello, Kuya Diyos. Si Jigs Cooper, who was my first honor earlier before we got cut off. Welcome back, Jigs. Welcome back, Cheeks. Again, we apologize. There was a glitch on not on my system, but on the system of the PHLB radio. So we sincerely apologize. So, ito na. Koreatown, sabi ni Daisy. Daisy, when I come back, nako, you still owe me a lunch treat to Koreatown. Let's have sanggupsya or something like that. But looking forward to seeing again you guys soon. Anyways, like what I said, I was in Calibo. It was a promise fulfilled. I have not been to Ati-Atihan for so long, even pre-pandemic. But since it was a promise that I made that this year I'll make an effort. I'll arrange my schedule and visit very good friends like family, the Lao and the Mayor and the Kimpos. So I really had a great time seeing everybody. So, and because of that, I was privileged also to join the company. It's the Solein or Shell group of companies in Calibo, Aklan. And maraming salamat again for allowing me to be part of that. But I'm so excited because especially for those for those people who are not able to travel to the Philippines to be part of Ati-Atihan, So Ati-Atihan is considered the mother of all Philippine festival, and I'll explain to you why. So we'll explain to you the difference between Ati-Atihan, Dinagyan, as well as Sinulog. They're all celebrating the birth and the feast of the feast day of Santo Niño, or the infant Jesus. But I'll mention to you the difference, so at least you know where you want to go in the future if you want to participate either in Sinulog or in Dinagyan or in Ati-Atihan. So I'll explain that. Also, I'll tackle also the history of such, why Ati-Atihan came about. Okay? So that would be a very, very interesting show. Today, I'm excited as well. Okay, so here we go. Ati-Atihan is celebrated on the third week of January, as I've said, mainly because it's a religious connection, the religious connection to the Santo Niño, or the child Jesus, with long-standing tradition. And on the Catholic reason, the main ones are the Catholic Church celebrate the feast day of Santo Niño in January. In Kalibo, Aklan, the third Sunday of January was fixed, kumbaga ito na yung regular, as the official feast day of Santo Niño. Okay? And it's the child Jesus. Then, of course, the Ati-Atihan grew as a devotional celebration, so the festival naturally centered on that day. Okay, and the beautiful thing, and you'll see that on the video once we play the video, the Grand Street dancing usually happens on the weekend closest to the third Sunday, making it easier for devotees and visitors to attend. Over time, the religious feast and cultural celebration became inseparable. And then, of course, January is considered the after harvest season in the Philippines. So people historically had time and resources to celebrate, whether in January as well, here in the Philippines, is usually cooler and drier, ideal for outdoor dancing, and processions. Okay, in short, Ati-Atihan is celebrated on the third week of January because it honors the feast day of Santo Niño, a date fixed by the church and preserved by tradition, which with practically timing that allows the whole community to celebrate. Yeah. Okay, now before we show you some ideas on why, let's see. Okay, meaning of Ati-Atihan. Yan, a lot of people say, bakit Ati-Atihan? Bakit ati-ati or Ati-Atihan? Ati-Atihan has three deep meanings. Well, the cultural unity, it symbolizes peace, acceptance, and brotherhood between different people. Anyone can join, no social status, no barriers. And then on the other end of it, for faith and devotion, for many devotees, it's a panata, like what I did. It's a panata to Santo Niño, and of course, dancing is not just for fun; it's prayer in motion. Ganda, di ba? And then, of course, it's a joyful worship. Like solemn procession. Remember how Catholics would have solemn procession? Ati-Atihan celebrates faith with music, sweats, and smiles. And and of course, why it's different? Because no strict choreography, no performer versus audience. Everyone is equal in the streets. Okay, and then symbolizes, before I go to the video. Si Cesar Ong or June Ong says, hi Kuya. Hello June. And of course si Daisy. And of course hello to the Ong family. Of course si Carmi, si Matt, at of course si John. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Okay, as you would see when we play the video, there are key symbols of Ati-Atihan Festival. And of course it represents the Ati people, the original inhabitants of Panay. And it symbolizes equality. Everyone looks the same, rich or poor, shows humility and respect. And then for the drums, there's drums or the tambol. It's the heartbeat of the festival, connects dancer to Asian tribal rituals, and symbolizes life, strength, and togetherness. Yeah, tapos of course you'll see some costumes earlier. So it honors the indigenous roots and warrior spirits. And then the feathers, the beads, and shell symbolizes nature and bravery. And modern costumes, and you'll see some of that, evolves but remembers its past. And of course, the image of Santo Niño, which is the center of the celebration, represent faith, hope, miracles, and the childlike trust in God. And of course, you'll see people dancing with the statue, and that's part of the panata. And of course, the street dancing, who could miss that? And I like that. They said it's a prayer through movement. Again, prayer through movement, and it's an expression of joy, gratitude, and devotion. Anyone can join, no rights or wrong steps. And of course, there's the chant and shouts like halabira, Viva Señor Santo Niño. And of course, they scream it like halabira, Viva Señor Santo Niño. That's encouragement to keep going. It's declaration of faith and celebration, and it builds unity and shared energy. And then, of course, the streets of Calibo. The street of Calibo, or streets rather, become a sacred space, no stage, no barrier. Faith and culture live in everyday life. So, without much further ado, I'll explain to you later the difference between Ati-Atihan, Sinulog, and Dinagyang. But for now, there's a lot of videos that I'd like you guys to enjoy. I will go in and out as a commentator, or I'm doing a voiceover. And this is the day of, I arrived there on the day of the Ati-Atihan. This is in the morning. So you could tell the whole streets. It's the whole streets is covered with ornaments and streamers, and it's just like the whole town is fiesta. And of course, Ati-Atihan is considered the mother of all Philippine festival, and it will show you why. And so now you're seeing. So this is the parade that's ongoing the whole 2 days, from Saturday and Sunday. Actually, it started Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the owner was saying, I have a very good vantage point. We are seated at the tallest building, or one of the tallest building in Calibo, at Mariaming building. People are gearing up. This particular shot was done on a Saturday morning. Really, the people are really in wares, and there's a lot of visitors, a lot of people just trying to partake, and then lots of street drinking as well. For some reason, zero incidents of drunkenness, because the people are just here to celebrate. You could tell people are just orderly organized. It's just amazing. They're just going in one direction, except Aki. Because we're looking for a group. And I'm going to be part of the Solane Shell group. By the way, you'll see some pictures later. So if you do the end credit later, there's gazillions of pictures that showed a lot of things that I cannot cover through videos. And this music, they get so loud. It's just, I mean, you really have to wear, I would say, earplugs when you go there, because they really go at it. This is the tambol, the drum, and every group has their own band, and they are all coming from anywhere. So it was just really festive. I would say it's comparable to Mardi Gras in New Orleans, but this is one hell of a celebration. I was told the preparation for this festival is a year-long preparation because they have to practice all the music and the drums and the rhythm. This is a Saturday afternoon. It's the whole day. We're looking for our group here because they went ahead of us. There's so many groups. It's like we cannot even see the beginning and the end of the parade because every year it gets bigger, longer, and more vibrant. And imagine people just want to celebrate the feast day of the infant Jesus. So there you go. See, these are my people, Solane. They're holding the Santo Niño with them while they're dancing and they're doing, they call it sad or the street dancing. And there's like what they said, there's no choreography. You just do your thing. It's a free for all. And what I noticed or have been noticing is people are drinking. It's a street party. So people are just having fun. And then, of course, this is my group, the Solane group. And, of course, there are the proponents of the Solane people. So, and so see, you could see Jack there wearing in blue with the Santo Niño. And you dance with the image of the Santo Niño because they said it's lucky and at the same time you're blessed. So you do the sadsad. People are holding their Santo Niño, the image of the child. And you could tell people are just doing their free style of dancing. And since there's such a huge line, people are performers. We are the performers. What's the beautiful thing about that is because you are not you're not an observer, but you are a participant. All this are all lined up. Imagine that. Don't worry, we have more videos because I did Saturday and Sunday, including the evening of Monday. while you're looking at that, I promised you earlier, some people are asking me what's the difference between Ati-Atihan versus Sinulog versus Dinagyang. Okay? Now, the Ati-Atihan, which is held in Kalibo, Aklan, it's the most raw and participative. Anyone can join the street dancing, meaning be an spectator or you could just be a visitor and you could join. And then of course you put black face or a paint black face, tribal, and very spontaneous, parang fiesta sa kalsada. And the chant, of course, is Halabira, Viva Señor Santo Niño. So, if you want full on fun, meaning no rules whatsoever, and you become a participant, then you go to Ati-Atihan in Kalibo, Aklan. Now, Sinulog, which is held in Cebu, is the most religious and organized. And it has a choreographed dancers with the famous 2 steps forward, meaning 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And it's a big street parade and solemn procession. Less join in, more watching performances. So it's more like you become you're not really a participant, but more like an observer. And of course, Dinagyang Festival, it's held in Iloilo City. It's the most theatrical and intense. Highly competitive performances, sharp choreography, dramatic face paint, and big props. More for viewing than joining. Best if you like grand performances and artistry. Now, ito yung quick summary lang. If you want to be part of the sayaw, you go to Ati-Atihan. If you want naman religious experience, you go to Sinulog. But if you want ng world-class performances, then Dinagyang. But people, the millennials, they always like the dancing, the street dancing, which is a freestyle dancing. See? Don't worry, okay, you'll see that. So people are parading with different images of the Santo Niño with them. What you're seeing on screen was I put this from the top of the building, but don't worry, there's a portion here where I will be joining them as well, so at least you have a better view. But you could imagine the gazillions of people on this 2-day event. People are dancing with the image of the Santo Niño. Different costumes, different flair, different groups. There you go. The funny thing about this festival, everybody was drinking. No, there's no incidents. People are just having fun. It's a big street party in the streets of Calibo. Very organized, very peaceful. They're just there to celebrate the feast of Santo Niño. Each group, by the way, they're represented by different organization, which is so cool. And they got there. Even foreigners are joining in. Now, as you could tell from the rooftop, I decided to go down and be part of the street festivity, so you have a better look of the people and the groups as well as the pageantry of Ati-Atihan 2026. My suggestion, if you guys would do this at once in a lifetime, you go to Ati-Atihan if you want the street dancing and free flowing. And then if you want some religious aspect of it, then you do the sinulog. And now if you want the pageantry and choreography, then you go to Dinagyang in Iloilo City. But at least attend one of this because it is such a Philippine pride to have to be able to participate and witness such pageantry, such festival. And again, the mother of all festival is Ati-Atihan in Calibo, Aklan. And like I said, there's no barriers. Rich, poor, kids, elderly, adult, single parent, anybody can join, and everybody can dance with the music and the beating of the drums. By the way, part of this festival, there are prizes to be won, like best parade costumes, best organized, and I'll show that next week because I'm getting all the prizes and the winners with their pictures and all. We'll show that to you next week. People flew in different parts of the world to be part of this festival. That's why there's a lot of visitors, and of course now that they have the Calibo International Airport, that made it easier for people to go in and out of Calibo, Aklan. You will notice it starts at 2 in the afternoon and it ends up almost 10 p.m. It's like a non-stop parade, non-stop music, non-stop dance, street dancing, and people are just having fun and in celebration of the infant Jesus, Santo Niño. Yes, our own question is, sumama ka pa ba sa parade? Yes, I'm part of the parade. If you've seen it earlier, I was part of the Solane Shell group. And then nagsayaw ka din ba? Yes, I did. And there's some pictures later, June. And you might be wondering, where is this parade heading to? So they go all the way, all the streets of Calibo, and then they end up at the church, the Infant Jesus the shrine in Calibo, Aklan. So all this parade, they go around town, and then it ends up at the church, the Cathedral of Santo Niño. You'll see later as well. Filipinos abroad, please do watch and participate. Please make it part of your bucket list is to see this festival, the biggest and most colorful festival in the Philippines, Ati-Atihan, at least once in your lifetime. If you make that arrangement, it's really worth the time, the effort, and it's really one of those that is one for the books. And people are really, really friendly. They give you drink. It's really it's a town celebration. They look into it every January, third week of January, every year. different images of the Santo Niño from certain child to the Laboy. Laboy means um, and then of course different types of the Santo Nino is being paraded. Just amazing sight. You have to be there. You have to see it for yourself. It once in a lifetime event. And Atiatihan is called the mother of all Philippine festival and considered the Filipino Mardi Gras because everyone, locals and tourists alike, can join the street dancing. No fancy steps needed, just feel the beat and celebrate. What you're seeing right now on screen, this particular group won a special award for obviously for best costumes. And look at that, the pageantry, the color, and it's just the imagery is just spectacular. As I mentioned, kung gusto mong sumayaw, you go to Ati-Atihan. Kung gusto mong religious experience, you go to Sinulog of Cebu. At kung gusto mo naman ng world-class performances, you go to the Nagyang. Again, if you want to be part of the festival, Ati-Atihan. If you want to be an spectator, Sinulog. And if you want to watch world-class performances, then that's the Nagyang in Iloilo. And then for the history of Ati-Atihan, Ati-Atihan dates back to around the 13th century. Pre-colonial roots, the Ati were the original inhabitants of Panay. Malay settlers arrived and were allowed to settle on the lowland to celebrate peace and friendship. Settlers painted their face black to look like the Ati and dance with them. This is where the name Ati-Atihan came from, meaning to be like the Ati. So Ati-Atihan means to be like the Ati. Then comes the Spanish period influence. When the Spaniard arrived in the 16th century, the festival was Christianized. It became a celebration in honor of Santo Niño, or the infant Jesus, or the child Jesus. Devotion grew after miracles were attributed to the Santo Niño. The festival blended indigenous rituals and Catholic faith, which is why it feels both tribal and religious. Meaning of Ati-Atihan. Ati-Atihan has three deep meanings. One, cultural unity. It symbolizes peace, acceptance, and brotherhood between different people. Anyone can join, no social stature, no barriers. Two, faith and devotion. For many devotees, it is a panata to Santo Niño. Dancing is just not for fun. It is prayer in motion. The third, it's a joyful worship. Unlike solemn processions like what we are so used to, Ati-Atihan celebrates faith with music, sweat, and smiles. It shows